to. It is now episode 5 of Diary with the original Fall Guy, John Cheetham. And
Yeah.
John, you're looking incredibly dapper.
It
You got a tie.
used to be my daily overalls.
Wow, wow. And
Been invited to go and meet Ollie Solskjaer.
yeah, yeah. And time of
So make the effort.
yeah, you certainly have, and you look really, really good, friend. You look really good. At time of recording, we'll come on to some of these things in a moment. We have been at HMV this afternoon. We've we've
Yeah,
got home. We've kind of cleaned up a little bit from for tonight, and now we're just off from Blackpool to the centre of Manchester, as you said, for an evening with an absolute legend, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
yeah,
So amazing. So yeah, productive day. So we're going to catch up a little bit. That I'm going to encourage those that are joining us to check out the previous podcast episode, which was recorded at Cheshire Podcast Studios.
yes,
And it's an even greater in depth than these brief discussions that we have of what happened to you. And I'm going to
yes.
be very specific now. What happened to you on that bridge in Varna? For
I got thrown off a
yeah,
bridge in Varna,
yeah,
and it is almost certain, although no one's confirmed,
mm,
that I was probably dead.
yeah. And I really, really strongly encourage those who are joining us here, check out the previous episode because that's a different diary, because that is really a proper full interview discussion
Yeah,
of things, and certain things came to light that you've just shared there. Yeah. So we've had, as always, a busy week,
yeah,
and they are becoming, I think, sort of productive. Perhaps is a better term than busy, because
yeah,
things are moving in the right direction.
yeah.
And I want to begin with, we were in the recording studio, and bring us
Yesterday,
up to, yeah. It was, wasn't it?
yeah,
Wow. Okay, I'm having one of those moments again because I'm thinking that was a few days ago, but you're right, it was yesterday. Goodness me. Wow. So that's incredible. It feels like today. Today has been a few
yeah,
days within itself. So anyway, there we are. You caught me out with that. You're right. It was yesterday. Yeah. You received an email. So bring us up to speed on Salford lads and reaching out
Okay,
to them.
Salford lads. We went to see them about a month ago. We popped in after we'd been interviewed on Salford City Radio. We popped in to see them, have a wander around. We inquired about the rooms, and we said that we'd written a song that is very, very relevant for Salford lads.
Mm,
And yesterday morning, I emailed them saying we'd like to hire a room
mm,
for an evening with
mhm.
the original Full Guy, i.e., me. Um, and they emailed me back saying the committee's meeting shortly,
Mm.
but they hope to get back to me in a couple of days, and we're aiming for March.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. Thank you for that, John. And again, this is what we're sharing. We're opening up our diary. Here it is. I think I mentioned last time it's looking a bit, for want of a better expression, scabby.
Yeah,
I yeah,
well used.
we need 2025 to arrive quickly because if nothing else, I need a new diary. Yeah, but yeah, that's one of the things we're working on. So Salford lads is there. They've come back to us. We are intending to go directly to Oldham Rugby Club slash
Yeah,
football club because we have had a verbal assurance that we can
yeah,
have a date there, but we now want to pin that down. And we want to pin that down to a specific date so we can get organised, let people know. So that's a really, really big feature of next year, isn't it? The
yeah.
evenings, yeah? Yeah.
And we've got Oldham in mind, Salford Lads in mind.
Yeah.
We'll have further south Knowledge on Wednesday, where we're going, probably London.
Yeah.
But we won't know till Wednesday.
Yeah.
We've got a busy schedule anyway next week. So, yeah, keep watching this space.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, are you thinking Thursday? Are you thinking of our video call? Is that what you're thinking with a bit more detail of
Yeah, yeah, Thursday,
Thursday?
Thursday.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm checking
Yeah,
me as well, John. I'm not checking you. I'm checking me as well. Just yes, it is Thursday, isn't it? So we
yeah,
have a video call. Lady called Lisa Kate. She does a lot in social media, promoting, helping people to reach the stages, platforms, quite literally, that they want to through filmmaking, through books, through music, and of course, all of those things come together in the Fall Guy.
yeah, of
So we've
course.
got a meeting with her. Somebody else I won't mention by name at the moment, but they are apparently coming into the video call and they've got studio space in Southall. So, these are the things we're doing behind the scenes, which is why we're saying we're opening up our diary to
Yeah,
transparently tell people these are the things that we're doing. And of course, in that, we're encouraging people to join us in whatever way
yeah,
that is. Again, I think this comes to me. I haven't shared this perhaps thought, but
yeah,
venues across the country. Reach out to us if you've got somewhere that you want to hire. There's some financial gain to you that you can hire a hall or building or studio or whatever it is, theatre,
yeah,
then we're interested. So
yeah.
I will put both our email addresses across. If you can remember yours, can you remember yours now?
Yeah, so my email address, cheethamj@sky.com.
Fantastic. Mine is raycoatesvoice@gmail.com. So I'll make sure both of those are going across, and that's reaching out, which I didn't plan. I didn't intend, you know how we do what we do, but reaching out to people to say, you have a venue somewhere, and I'm talking about anywhere in the country. We're
Yeah.
interested in talking to you to
It
bring
could
an
be it
evening
could
to
be
you.
a restaurant, a theatre, a hall, a church hall, anything like that. Then certainly the churches are kind of struggling for congregations and they're dipping into their pot quite heavily. So if you've got an empty church hall in a town, city, South, Birmingham, Manchester, call us.
That's a really good point, John, because I must admit, I think Michelle said a long time ago, my partner Michelle said about church halls, even to some degree spiritual churches. So whilst what we're doing isn't, of course, a religious service, it certainly is inspirational, uplifting. It's
Yeah,
incredibly positive. It's life
yeah.
affirming. It's life
Mm,
affirming. So I think to some degree, I think that's a great point you've just made there, and I think that's another place that we could inhabit with these amazing evenings because they really, really are. They're so human, and the capacity that we have to uplift others. So we call out to those to help us in different places, different places. So the studio, tell us a little bit. So that was yesterday, by the way,
yeah.
as you just reminded me. What? Tell us a little bit about what we were doing yesterday.
So we were finalising a couple of songs from the album with some vocals from you,
Mm.
some additional guitar, and my voice on a couple of them.
Yeah.
They were getting to the point where they were finished,
Mm.
not mastered yet,
Yeah.
but we've got a couple of more to do.
Yeah.
Probably have to have a reappearance from me because I was, well, you can still hear, I
Yeah.
was full of a cold
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So my vocals wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Although I did pop out and get a breakfast down me and tried to improve myself, but that didn't work.
Well, well done for trying, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good medicine, a good breakfast, yeah.
A
Uh,
big shout out to the ladies in Earlham that give me a breakfast.
Great one. I love that. I love that. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll find out if they're okay in the future. We could have a sponsor. We could have a breakfast
Yeah.
sponsor. That'd be a good one. I like that. And again, that's just a thought. That's what we're doing. Yeah, the more the
Yeah.
merrier. So people that would like us to mention them, if they would like to donate to the GoFundMe, we're happy to give a shout out to people who
Yes. Yeah.
who contribute, and it could be a business or a group of people get together, because there
Yeah.
is still the need there. There is still the need
Yeah.
there to create the finance to
Mm.
complete the album. And the mastering John mentioned, we want to get a session musician in for saxophone. There's
Yeah.
some female vocals to complete, and that's not to mention the printing of the vinyl, which
Yeah.
is going to cost thousands of pounds. And what
Yeah.
we're saying to people is, I think I mentioned this in a previous time together, is £25 donation to the GoFundMe. That effectively buys you a vinyl album. So
Yeah.
effectively, what we're asking people to do is advance pay, because then the more that builds up, that creates, of course, the GoFundMe that then
Yeah.
enables us to pay out for mastering, to pay out for session musicians, to pay out for the printing, which is still a need, still a need there
Yes.
for
Yeah.
others to support us.
I get exactly. I mean, any help anyone can give us,
Yeah,
talk to us, email us, ring us. We're happy to talk to everybody
yeah,
out there
yeah,
because I want my story, well, fact
yeah,
story,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
to be heard worldwide.
yeah. And we're totally getting there. We are totally getting
Yeah,
there. Of course, though, you need support along the way to do that. Our dear
yeah,
friend George, our dear friend George at HMV
yeah,
said, for a project this size, a documentary particularly, but for a project this size, you need investment.
yeah,
And of course he was talking financially, and is totally correct. Totally correct. So everything along the way creates that desired outcome for yourself
yeah,
and for all of the rest of us involved.
yes,
And that's, yeah, just calling out, like I said, possible sponsorship or shout outs to a business. We can do that for somebody who donates to the GoFundMe for sure. Yeah. So
yeah,
we've mentioned already things going on in the background with the evenings. We
yeah,
mentioned a little bit yesterday, which is beginning to bring the studio, the vinyl to completion.
yeah,
We've talked about Salford Lads,
yeah,
and at time of recording, we are a couple of hours after arriving back from HMV. Okay, so I want you to express yourself how you feel, John. As you always
I'm,
do. How do
I,
you feel about what we just did at HMV? Because there was some of your songs. There was a little bit of time. I had a problem with a phone, which is why it cut off early. So the fifth track of the vinyl, there was
yeah,
Thoughts. I performed Thoughts. Dexter did the guitar bridge of Fall Guy, the soundtrack
yeah,
song, and I performed Ropes of Life and
yeah,
another song that I'm not going to name at the moment, but we
no,
are going to name in a moment. But I want to
yeah.
know from you, because I know how it felt for me, and I'll share that in a bit. How did it feel for you?
I still feel like I'm running on parallel.
Hmm,
I'm kind of detached
hmm,
from
hmm,
what's happening around me. It seems to be two lanes on a motorway, and the cars are matching each other
hmm,
on the motorway. And I kind of might be in the middle lane, and occasionally I feel myself pulling back.
Mm.
I'm like, wow, what's happening here? And then cars will speed past me, and then I'll catch up. I'm kind of, my emotions doing that at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of falling behind, feeling low, feeling high, and then yeah, it's like a middle and third lane on the motorway where the cars are doing a similar speed, but the middle lane is slowing down every now and again, and that seems to be me.
Is there a pattern in the rate of that going parallel with yourself and falling back? So you mentioned about the feeling like you're dragging back and then feeling like
Yeah,
you're keeping up.
yeah,
Is there a pattern to that across the days as much as you can identify? I know that's a
yeah.
difficult one.
I think so. It's I don't know what causes that, but of course, look, I've been shot, thrown over a bridge, kidnapped, blah blah blah. So I'm guessing it's all that. I mean, I continually have flashbacks,
Mm.
and I think sometimes when the songs are being played or being sung, I have many flashbacks,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe it's that that's causing the problem.
Do you think I mean obviously you're facing a lot of emotion. I know this is a tricky one to answer, but I feel I have to because I feel it would be wrong of me not to. Do you feel in some ways, which is a tricky question to ask at this point, why do you think it wouldn't be better for you to not be doing what you're doing? Why don't you think it would be better for you to not have those songs written? Because
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 I
because
will,
because if it's uncomfortable, wouldn't it make
yeah.
sense for you to not do it?
Well, it's uncomfortable in all walks of life.
Yeah,
Um, but I want everybody to know about my experience.
yeah,
When my experience was happened,
yeah.
I was questioned,
Mm,
I was threatened, I was
mm,
thrown off a bridge. I was Everyone wanted to silence me,
yeah.
and that is what I want to turn round. So if you can imagine um, a timer with sand
Mm,
dropping through,
mm.
all the sand had dropped through, so when effectively they'd silence me. I want to turn that upside down
Wow,
to where everything is at the top.
wow. I've heard you come in with some powerful stuff. Wow. That's a simple, do you know what? I'm going to try and find a video image of an hourglass being turned upside down, and I might even play it in this bit because I think that's such a powerful illustration. And I'll tell you what comes to me in that, the motorway illustration you gave a moment ago,
Yeah,
is you might feel at times like you're lagging back.
yeah,
Of course, that's understandable, but listening to what you've just said, you're massively overtaking the previous experience
yes. And
because of a,
that's my intention all
yeah,
the way through.
yeah,
I want everybody to hear about this.
yeah,
Listen, Donald Trump has just been voted in. I'm sending him a copy of my book with outlines of what happened
yeah,
and asking him his thoughts on this because it involves a high flying American.
yeah.
So why shouldn't he know? So
Totally.
I'm getting to everybody. Everybody should know about
100%.
this. Never mind spending his time on golf courses and ringing up Putin and doing his stupid YMCA dances. Come on, Trump, sort yourself out.
Uh,
Have a look at this book and then tell me whether that was right or wrong.
Now, I don't know whether time-wise, because we're going to come on to Monday in a moment, but I don't know whether time-wise, but I am so tempted to screen grab an image of Donald Trump doing the YMCA dance over this bit. I'll see what I can do. I won't make any promises, but I'll see what I can do. That's so true. That's so true. And I know, having had conversations with you, of course, your own personal desire for your, and I am going to use the word story, for your story, his story,
Yeah,
your story, your
yeah,
life to be told. I know you have that personal level, but you also have another level, which is the desire to create the inspiration for others, because we talk about that often when we're together in the car or
yeah,
doing stuff we're doing, and that's a large part of it. So we'll
yeah,
come back to Monday in a moment.
yeah.
But of the songs that were played, some of them, of course, are your life.
Yes.
I mean, they all are your life, but some of them are more directly and more acutely because they're the Fall
Yeah.
Guys songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course, we've got Ropes of Life. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
That will definitely be played in many, many places and is. That's a song that's very popular. And the one of the new ones, and one
Yeah.
that's not even been released yet, which is Damaged. I want you to talk to me a little bit about the response at HMV today from those that were there,
Yeah. Yeah.
including those that we don't know, because I
Yeah.
noticed the facial expressions and responses. There were a couple
Yeah.
of people on the floor who were constantly staring over in my direction as they were
Yeah.
going, looking at records and everything else. And there was a few people up there listening,
Yeah.
as well as an audience too.
Yeah.
So I did that with the piano, just
Yeah.
my voice, the piano, your lyrics.
Yeah.
I want you to express yourself how you feel about that moment and about the song Damaged, which, by the way, again, is protected.
Yeah.
So this is a song that we've already licensed and we'll be releasing next year. Talk to me a little bit about how it felt to hear it live with others listening to that song.
Well, uh your singing, your performance of Damage was amazing,
Thank you.
and a few people on the floor came up to me afterwards
Mm,
and said, "John, that's the best one you've written."
yeah,
And these are experienced musicians
yeah,
and people that are involved in the music industry. Even the staff at HMV said to me on my way out, said, "That is the best we've heard."
But through the damage we rise again. Through the damage we rise again.
That is by far the best you've done.
excellent. Oh, that's really, really good. And now that leads nicely into, which is part of the growth, part of the expansion. In much of what we're doing, we're learning as we're going along.
Yeah.
We're experts in certain things, but again, we welcome that support from people who can bring us to the places we want to go to. We have HMV opening up next year. So we've got
Yes.
February 22nd, so I'm already opening up that 2025 diary. We have
Yeah.
Saturday, February the 22nd, at Bury.
Yeah.
And March, I haven't got a date confirmed yet for Manchester Rondo.
Yes.
And of course, we're into Manchester Centre this evening
Yes.
for the evening with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, big things are happening, and the HMVs are opening up, the evenings are opening up. So, I think to conclude with, because I know you're going to need to drive around and pick me up in a minute.
Yeah.
And we want to get there on time, and we're not going to rush, but we're going to get there. Um, Talk a little bit about Monday without, of course, necessarily mentioning any names at the moment, even though I think
Yeah.
some people are already putting two and two together with
Yeah.
the people that we may or may not be talking with, and partly how you feel. So what are we doing, and how do you feel about it?
Uh, Monday we're going south for a morning or lunchtime meeting. We've already been told to stay over
Yeah,
because it might go on to Tuesday,
yeah. And when you
or it
say
might go on to
sorry to interrupt you, John, when you say going south, it
yeah.
makes it sound like it's kind of just up the road. Is it's over
It's
200
100,
miles.
yeah, it's 100 miles plus, but yeah, it's
It's
south.
more than that. I think it's
Yeah,
200 odd, isn't it? Definitely.
yeah, it's
So
500 mile round trip.
yeah, yeah.
Thereabouts,
Four,
give or take.
4.5 sort of 5-ish hour journey. So
Yeah,
not a short journey, not a small journey.
no,
Investment of time, investment of money, investment of energy
yeah.
to go down there. And yeah, just sorry, John. Carry on. Carry on.
So we're going there. We're meeting some people that have done a podcast with us
Mm,
before.
mm.
We're meeting a editor, producer, and there may be other people there that we don't know about yet
Mhm.
because certain people that we can't talk about
Yeah,
have met us there
yeah,
and have insisted on waiting behind to make sure they met us.
yeah, yeah.
And they have been emailed the podcast when it's been finished before us.
Yeah.
So there's obviously some serious involvement there.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, we got a phone call saying documentary approved.
Mm,
Please call me
mm.
to make an appointment. We want to see you as soon as.
Yeah.
So when I rang them, they said first available date we've got is around the 11th of November.
Yeah.
So we said, right, put that in, we'll be there.
Yeah.
And that's Monday.
Yeah. So you've booked a hotel for both of
Yeah.
us. I think, is it a Premier Inn?
Yeah, Premier Inn, yeah.
Other
Where
hotels
we've stayed
other
before.
hotels are available.
Yeah, of course.
But this particular one is the Premier Inn, and
Yeah.
who knows, further down the line there could be the possibility of a sponsorship from them. I'll keep trying, John. I'll keep trying.
Well,
And
we've been there 3 times, or fourth time.
yeah, yeah,
Fourth
yeah,
time
yeah.
this.
We'll be expecting mate rates soon, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's for me personally, I already know how big the project is and how incredible it will be. Both the documentary, both the dramatization, and future projects.
Yeah.
I already know for definite how amazing the vinyl is,
Yeah.
and it's moving towards completion. Of course, I know how incredible the book is, and I know you sold a book at HMV today as well, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And the book is there. The book is there.
Yeah.
We had discussions the other day about audiobook and
Yeah.
various other spin-offs. We've also had a little bit of a discussion about journeying into TikTok, and
Yes.
you've set up a shop on TikTok.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I'm due to get a professional studio, Roadcaster Pro 2. There's
Yeah.
another potential sponsor.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, Roadcaster, if you're hearing this, you know where we are. Come on,
absolutely.
get your checkbook out.
Exactly. Other audio interfaces are available,
Yeah.
but that's the one I'm getting, and it's with a view to the level that we're reaching, and we're looking to achieve. Of course, in sharing that, that is taking a lot of time and a lot of effort, and along the way some challenges, frustrations of and some disappointments of perhaps things that looked like they were going to work out and didn't. That's part of the journey, I'm afraid. But also, we are achieving a great deal. And there are people donating to the GoFundMe, for example. We're really,
Yeah.
really grateful for that, incredibly grateful, because it enables us to continue doing what we're doing. The book is printed, it is out
Yeah.
there, it's available, and
Yeah.
that took its own first step of courage. A few of the songs from Fall Guy, the soundtrack, are available.
Yeah.
CD limited edition. I'm looking at one down there, but I'm not going to reach over because I'll knock the microphone. But there is a limited edition CD available. We've
Yeah.
talked about the vinyl. Of
Yeah.
course, ultimately the documentary, we have received a go for that, and we're
Yeah.
going down to talk about the details. And I think within it all, because that's your life. Fall Guy is your experience,
Yeah.
but it's also given birth. That's the phrase that came to me first. It's
Yeah.
given birth to all of the other creative works. So, for
Yeah.
example, Ropes of Life comes from a very, very deep, meaningful place
Yes.
of the victory over challenges, adversity, fights, battles.
Yeah.
Damaged, damaged is a recognition of we're all damaged in some way, but we're not
Yeah.
broken.
No.
And when I think of those things lyrically come from
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
which is an incredibly qualified person
Mm.
to be able to communicate the depth of that emotion. And that's the message I want to share for others, because this is not somebody who's just tinkering and toying around with some expressions and some
No.
ideas.
No.
You've lived. Not just
Yeah.
Fall Guy, but a lot
No.
of the other songs as well.
Yeah.
So watch this space for next year, because Damaged is beautiful.
Yeah.
Ropes of Life is already there. And Fall Guy is in progress.
Yeah.
And I think I'm looking forward to seeing, well, not I think I'm looking forward to, I am looking forward to seeing you, but I think I'm looking forward to what's happening next for Monday, for more. We're going to keep the diary going, unless we are directed to go on the down low, because
Yeah.
something's happening. But until that time, we're going to open the diary, particularly with the evenings, with
Yeah.
everything else that's going on. So we reach out to those who are with us. Come on board, as you said last time. Join
Yeah.
us and become a part of what's happening. And
Yeah.
it's massive. So look forward to seeing you a bit, John.
Yeah. On the way. On the way.
Fantastic.
And let's go and cheer for Ollie.
Start the Batmobile.
Yep.